Stable chat, somewhere very, very different. I'm going to say thank you to the guys at Wagga for getting me up and covering the Riverina Championships and Wagga Cup night. Ellen Jones joins me. Firstly, hello.
Hello, how are you?
We moved away from the flies too, actually. Interesting. I just noticed that as well. Yeah, we had a little bit of fun the last time you and I caught up, but I did threaten then I wanted to call into your property one day when I had a chance, and it's a cool part of the world, isn't it?
It is. We are sort of in a little nook. There's not very many people around here, but we really love it. We're pretty much in town without being in town.
Yeah.
You know, it's fantastic here.
It's a little bit of a hidden gem too, and there'll be a few harness racing people thinking, where are you? But we're actually in Narrandera, and there is no official harness track here, I suppose, but there is actually a track in the middle, and we'll touch on that in a minute. But you're working on the thoroughbred track.
Yes, we are. The thoroughbreds, well, there's only two people that train thoroughbreds here, so we're pretty lucky. They only have a small team. They're really good. They let us, we work in and around each other. So yeah, it is definitely a hidden gem that I don't think anyone would really know was here.
Hey, like, it was a little bit lucky, I suppose, how you come to get it. But did you, I suppose, when you're negotiating to come here, did you think that it would work probably as good as what it seems to from afar anyway? I mean, your strike rate's outstanding as a trainer consistently over the last 6-7 years, really.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worked out better than we anticipated, that's for sure. Since we've been here, we've been here for 4 years, and we've trained over 200 winners since we've lived here, which is pretty cool when you think about it. 4 years, and we had to work out how to work on the track and the times and all that, and then we put our own track in, and again that was another whole, trying to work out if you're going to overwork them or underwork them and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's worked out super, and yeah, we're very lucky.
Start on the track. I've got a bit of footage on the tracks out there. Now there's a sand track for the thoroughbreds on the outside, but you guys are allowed to work on that track. Are you allowed to work on it when the gallopers are working on it, or do you try and miss each other? How does that work for a start?
We try to miss each other. Half the time, we might go out on a jog trip, and Shane or Anthony will be out there on their gallopers, and they'll just pop in behind us or in front of us, and they're really, really good. We work in really well together. They understand that we've got a job to do, and we get that they have a job to do. And if they have one that's a bit spooky, they'll just send a text and say, can you hold up for 5 minutes? And yeah, it's perfect, really. It works out really well.
That's great.
Yeah, really good. Super.
So many people could learn from that, couldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really.
Definitely.
So the sand tracks, I think Blake said to me before, 1,700 roughly around, and it's got a good hill on it. I got a couple of photos. I don't think the video camera will do it justice, but it looks a mean hill when you're working the wrong way to finish off on. Yeah,
it is a mean hill, but it's sand, 1,700 metre sand, and there's a bit of an incline at the back too.
Yep.
They do know they're working on it, that's for sure. But they really like it because they're not going around in a tight circle. Very rarely will we have one that will hang, and very rarely again will we have one that will pull, because they get out in the nice big open space, and they just really love it out there.
Okay, they get pulling, they just go going harder around. It's a bit silly on them, isn't it?
Yeah. If they get pulling, you just aim them up the hill and say do your best. But yeah, very. It's not very often that we'll have one that will pull or hang or whatnot, and yeah, they love it, and we jog on that track as well, so horse and driver don't get bored, because you do 5 laps and you're done. So yeah, it's perfect.
And then there's a track, Bluestone track in the middle. Now you guys, by the sounds of it, have put that track in. I'm gathering just finishing up with Blake and just what you've said, then you guys actually physically put that track in.
Yes, so we approached the Narrandera racecourse, the Trust, and asked if we could do it, and they pretty much said, go for your life, we'd love it. If when we moved here, there was no one training horses here at all. So they really wanted to see this the purpose-built facility be used to train horses. So they were really, really good. They said, yeah, absolutely go for it. So yeah, we whacked a track in. It's the same size as the Leeton Harness Racing track, and it is really fantastic here.
Can I just wind you back a bit? You said no one, so even the gallopers, there was no one at all?
No, there was no one here at all, no. Shane Bloomfield, so Kai Bloomfield, who works for us, he's this was his grandparents' property.
Yep.
So we say we bought the property and inherited Kai, unfortunately, sometimes. No, he's really good. So Kai's dad, Shane, he has a couple of thoroughbreds that he trains, but yeah, he didn't have a trainer's license when we moved here.
And now
they have, yeah.
That's got to be a win for racing. I keep saying one of our biggest issues in any of the disciplines, it is a racing sport. We're all looking for the gambling dollar, if you like, and we want to turn it over, and we need more people in the sport. So the fact that you've been able to do that, and who knows, you might get more standardbred people. If they watch this, someone might say, well, geez, I might move to Narrandera, might make it easier, might make it worse. We don't know about that, but we won't worry. But it is cool for racing, full stop. They race, 3 times a year, I think Blake was saying, and that's coming up now.
Yep.
Does that affect you guys greatly?
Not at all. They have 3 times a year, so usually June, July, and August.
Yep.
And we've got plenty of notice to when the meetings are coming up. As long as we're sort of off the track by 10 o'clock that day, it doesn't affect us at all. The only time it affects us is if we have a big day at the gallops and we're hungover the next day.
which it looks a cool place to actually do that. They've got the fairy lights and everything. I was having a good look around. It looks a really nice place.
Well, the fairy lights, actually, Blake and I put them up for our wedding. We got married over there.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, so it was really convenient because...
Well, they've left them up too.
Yeah, and they're still up there, and it is a fantastic venue. That's another hidden gem.
It is.
But yeah, we got married over there, and it was great because we just walked home. Well, actually, I walked home. Blake had to carry Lisa home from our wedding.
Don't want to know.
Just a little tidbit. I'll just throw that in there, throw her under the bus.
She'll be watching it. She'll be watching it too, and she'll be like, "I'm going to kill her for that one." Your stables and your property, like the stables, you said the shed was here. You've done some improvements to them, but
yep.
I'm a lover of quirkiness, if you like, and I think horses do too.
Yeah.
And this place has it all. You've got what you'd probably call your Hilton, like you've got your beautiful prefab stables in there. Even they've got a little bit of, I suppose, feel about them and that. But then these stables here behind us, these are my pick. I really love them. They're a good size, cool, and the horses can see everywhere.
Everything.
Yeah. And then you've got a couple out the back. You guys have done a few modifications, put a few roofs on a couple to keep the sun out?
Yeah, we there was 8 yards that didn't have a roof on them at all, so we throw the roof on and we put the insulation in, which makes a massive difference. These are definitely my favourite yards too, the bigger ones. And then we put the big shed up out the back that's got the wash bay and all that in it. We put that in. We put in a walker as well. And then just a few little things to make the horses more comfortable, like fans in the boxes in the barn and in the wash bay. And there's still a bit that we'd like to do, but just take it, a little bit at a time and set it up the way we want it, but it's perfect.
And you said the walker there, you actually all enjoy the walker by the sounds?
Yes, we do all enjoy the walker, especially on a
quiet day.
Yep.
Yeah. And I would imagine you need a quiet day with a heavy sand track like you have as well on the horses. When I arrived, you had them all out in yards. There's no grass. Anyone that lives in southern New South Wales right through to central Victoria, or Victoria full stop actually, knows that we're in one of the worst droughts we've had for a long time, that people aren't calling it a drought for whatever reason, but it's so dry. But you put the horses out for a period of time just to walk around and be with mates, but then they look forward to coming back in.
I think we try to get them out for a few hours every day, but it starts to get towards 2 o'clock and they know the routine, but they all stand at the gates wanting to come in. And I think they just they like being in. And our yards are very social too, so they're always with their mates, and they go out in their paddock and they have their pecking order and all that sort of stuff. But then we bring them in, and no one's sort of locked up away from anyone else. And I think they really like it. Yeah.
I saw you walking to the racing tonight, through to give them a shampoo and that just there before, and they're so comfortable. There were at least 2 big horses walking side by side. There's not a lot of room left in the alleyway, but they don't care. They're settled, aren't they?
No, they're so settled, and I find that a lot. Like, people will come and they can't believe how settled and relaxed they all are. And, we've got a few horses that have been rat bags, notorious for being rat bags at bigger stables and whatnot, and they come here and it's quiet and it's open, and they can get out in the paddock or they get out on the track, and they don't feel boxed in or
it's such a beautiful different feel. And I was out in the middle of that track. Blake I was probably late to the party, but there was only one horse working around, but there's plenty to see, and I just admire it. I just think it's great, and I think it's got to be so good, and probably gives you guys, well, a point of difference, I suppose, but also probably a little bit of an advantage. There'll be a lot of people salivating knowing you've got a 1,700 metre sand track at your disposal, basically.
Definitely, and I've found too, like, because obviously I'm a massage therapist, the horses, we don't seem to be having as many soundness issues.
Longer, straighter.
They're not like, they're not working around in tight circles. You can get them up, like I like to make all of ours trot, and we go out on a jog trip, and when they're trotting up that hill or trotting through that sand, it just makes them so much stronger as well.
But even before that, like, you got a good walk. It'd be nearly a 400 metre walk before you even get to the crossing to go around.
Yeah.
Like that, and that in itself, like they're walking on a road, then through trees.
Yeah.
Mentally, it's got to be so good for them as well.
Mentally, I definitely think it is so good for them. And our horses seem to be very relaxed and calm and happy.
Stabling for 20, just at the minute you've got a couple over that limit. Is there an ideal limit for you guys? Is 20 that, or would you both like to get bigger?
When we moved here, we said 12 was fantastic.
Oh, you've buggered that up, haven't you?
And then these yards here I used to call overflow, the ones behind us. I said, if there's horses in these yards, we've got too many. But they're full all the time now. 20 is a really good number. We can comfortably handle 20 between Blake and I and Kai. And then Blake's sister-in-law, Sarah, she comes in and does the boxes and stuff. And we can handle that really comfortably. Anything more, I start to pull my hair out a little bit and get a bit...
Don't do that.
Get a bit stressed about it, but 20s, we're really comfortable with 20, I think.
It's one of the great juggles, I think, and it's only when you get older. When you're young, you think, we'll just say yes, yes, but having that limit there. So, and that's in an ideal world, that's where you're going to keep it. Does Blake have the same belief, or is he a bit different?
Blake's very bad at maths. One horse will leave and two will show up. So
Yep.
He always says it's better to be looking at them than looking for them. But I think he's comfortable with 20 as well, definitely.
Yeah. It is a cool number. Right, your horses. You're getting better horses, constantly getting. Is that what you strive for now, to get better horses, or I suppose better clients, if that makes sense, or good clients in your stable? Are you happy to train horses for people that their horses might not be the A pluses and things like that, or would you like to get a few more A plus horses into the camp?
It's a bit of both. Like it's kind of hard here. Once they sort of get up and grade a bit, you have to move them along. So, because it's too big a travel. It's too big a travel to go to Menangle or Melton. But we, everyone wants a good horse. There's no doubt about that. But our client bases in our owner base at the moment is fantastic. We have a really, really good bunch of owners. We are always sort of getting new ones in, especially with the Wagga horse.
Yep. We'll touch on him in a sec. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really happy with what we've got at the moment too. And, we've got a heap of 2-year-olds coming through, so that one's feeling good.
Who is that one? He's racing tonight. We won't know, but he looked a picture walking out. And
that's the Irishman.
Yeah, he looks magic when he went out there, and he's all shampooed up, and he's feeling good because he gave it both barrels just there before. You mentioned there before about the horse for the Wagga Syndicate, Brett Hogan and the Harness Racing Club there at Wagga.
Yep.
Great initiative to getting new people into the sport.
Fantastic initiative. We've had a number of the owners have popped in to see the horse since he got here in work. They actually at Wagga last week, a couple of the owners brought down, and they brought all their grandkids and kids down. It was
awesome.
It was really cool. Like, these are kids that had never ever touched a horse before, and they were in there padding, and that in itself, I think, is worth its weight in gold.
Yep. That
experience. But really exciting to see what he can do, and to get all these new people to the track.
How does he go?
He's come a long way. He was a little bit standoffish when we first got him, but I'm going to cheek Brett here. Brett told us he was a gelding, and he actually was not a gelding.
So now he's going to have an interesting name, is he not?
Yes, so I think they want to try and call him Mr. Snip. So once we got him gelded, his attitude, he's a lot better now.
Yep.
And he's coming along really nicely. He's a beautiful pacer. Once you get him on the track, he's fantastic to do everything with.
I'm going to throw you under the bus. I think was he going to the green trials as well, or not?
No,
not quite.
Not yet. No,
that's okay. We're just talking about a couple that were there, and I wasn't sure whether he was going to those as well.
He's probably about a fortnight away, a week to a fortnight away from going. Yeah.
You're a big family. Very family orientated you guys are as well, and that's one of the, I think, the great parts about this industry, and it's a bit of a juggle. In the Riverina, so many people are family, aren't they not?
Yeah, it's a huge family involvement, I think, in the Riverina. I think New South Wales in general is massive. Like, you've got like Turnbulls and Hewitts and
then they're all related as well. You throw frisbees in and
frisbees and they're all related as well. And that is New South Wales. I think that is a very family orientated. But yeah, the Riverina is, there's families that have been here for generations and generations, and they're still going.
Your strike rate's at 20%. It has been, I think, for about 5 years, 6 years. Actually, might even be longer. I think you had 1 year where you trained 6 winners, but you only had a small number of horses that year, and ever since you were around that 20, do you pride yourself on that?
I do.
That's an awesome strike rate over that.
I think,
like you said, you've had 200 winners in the last 4 years, so you're averaging 50 a year, and you've got a strike rate of 20%. Like, that's a great figure.
When you put it that way, it definitely is something to be proud of.
It is.
I certainly can't take all the credit.
No.
It's a huge team effort between all of us to get the horses to the races and to produce them results. So I say every year I like to try and go one better than the previous year, and then last year was our biggest.
And this year you look like you're probably ahead of it slightly?
Yeah, this year I think we're slightly ahead of it, which is exciting too, because we've definitely got bigger numbers this year than we have previous years as well.
Which, again, as I said, I think you're at 21%. I think you're at like 20% last year. Like, even though you got bigger numbers, you're still keeping that consistency. Yeah. So that's a great tick for you.
Yeah, definitely. Because you can't guarantee that with the bigger numbers, you're still getting the winners.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's definitely something to be proud of.
Ellen, thank you. It is race night. You've got a few going around as well, so I really do appreciate the time and having a little bit of fun as well. Blake's done an interview. This will go up maybe Sunday. I might put this up after the meeting, but it's a huge meeting again for Wagga tonight too, and it's a great meeting. Blake thinks he may have only had one drive in the championships. He's got one in each tonight, so that's a great little feather in his cap as well.
Yeah, definitely. We were pretty excited when Alta William got a start. I think he was incredibly unlucky not to gain a run on his own merits. He didn't get out. He didn't see fresh air at all, and he hit the line as good as anything in the race. So it's exciting. He might be the lowest rated one in the race, but I don't think he's the worst one in it. That's for sure.
They might go crazy, and you never know. We'll be able to, after this, people will be able to say. Just quickly, any up and comers? Horses that haven't maybe started? Have we got any sneaky ones maybe coming into the system? She has. She's not going to give them out. I could just see the look on her eyes just then. She's like, I'm keeping these myself.
I do really like this filly, Watermain Lady. She had one start at Wangaratta and she did absolutely everything possible wrong, but she still managed to win. I've had a couple of little issues with keeping her sound, but I think we're on
the right track,
the straight and narrow now, and I think I am really excited to get her back to the races because I think she could be something special.
Quite funny, isn't it? She's in the overflow.
Yeah, she's in the overflow.
But now she's in your favourite. So
now she's in my favourite, but she's pretty cool. I do really like her, and hopefully...
As she goes good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Al. No flies.
No flies.
Oh, I'm actually very happy with that. But no, thank you to yourself and Blake, showing me around the place. Well done for what you guys are doing. Good luck with the 2-year-old.
Thank you.
And hopefully you've had a great night, but it doesn't matter. I think you'll have a bit of fun anyway. So thank you very much for joining me. Thanks to the Wagga Harness Racing Club as well for getting me up here and covering the race series. So really appreciate it. Thanks, Al.
Thank you.